noon, everyone. So yes, smart buildings. We consider that to be with artificial intelligence, with technology, which is electronically generated. But today what I'm going to do, I'm going to only discuss about the techniques, which is generally building techniques, planning techniques, climatological, and how we are going to afford it, how we are going to plan it on a right way so that it becomes self-sufficient and sustainable in a way. So that is the main objective. These are few elements which we generate, which we understand with a smart building, and we will be discussing only on building construction technique, climatological aspect, interior designing, planning setups, energy efficiency. So yes, this is a project. It is a experience center for a housing of around 18 acres named as Utopia. So since it's an experience center, it is a temporary setup for only 10 years. This was the idea from a client. Rather than making a RCC structure, we propose to make it of a frame structure of MS. And on that basis, we consider that it is going to be reusable. The lifespan is only going to be for next 10 years. And parallelly, we consider that because it is surely going to be used for the daytime, it has to be very finely lit, plus finely ventilated with a sense of planning on it. So if you see, this is the zoning we created in this way that one part becomes completely for the customers and the back end becomes for the official use. We created few courtyards in between, and the entire structure is made up of MS, as I mentioned. So this is what we made out of steel section, metal corrugated sheet above for the shed, and then we used the brickwork and created all the walls. And this is the final structure, which generally doesn't look like it is not made of. It looks like it is of a RCC structure, but it is not. The only thing which we used is ACP to cover the shed. In that way, we hide all the sloping roof above. The floor is of quota, glass is used very precisely, landscape is inside out all way. And we used bamboo for screening so that we can get some shed inside and interesting patterns. So this kind of pockets we created from which we have good views. And of course, ventilation becomes a very important part on this. We get this kind of shade from this bamboo. It is seasoned bamboo, and almost 50% of the material used in this building can be reused once the building is demolished. We also created this kind of arches, which is made up of MDF, and then we painted it. We haven't polished, we painted it with the same material which we used in the walls. This is few sections, few images of the entire block. And now this is another project. I'm just discussing about few features of a project so that I can describe multiple elements. This is a project for a contractor named as Shriji Kripa Private Limited. And this is their 21,000 square feet of building, which it is under construction, it is not yet completed. But in this, we used a lot of techniques in terms of planning and also for the architectural details. This entire structure is made within 2.5 years. There is no stone cladding or ACP or any other fancy material used. It is entirely made up of solid structure and done textures and paint above. You see the front rims over there, they are majorly for the light. It is an east-facing project, east-facing bungalow building, and on the back it is west. So to get that fine light, we used both the openings in the center. And the front arches are actually working as an envelope. They are giving really good shade within. So this is the few images of the space. You see those shadow which is being created above there. So that is being from the west light, and we are getting very beautiful patterns from the glass. We used entire solar roof to get energy efficient. So it is on the top, it is entirely on that way. The west side is glass paneled, and on that we use this film in CNC cutting, and by that we get this kind of beautiful patterns on the staircase tower altogether. And also for the railings we use this CNC in MS, and the negative what we get we used inside the building. So this is for the outside, and we use the negative part for the inside railing. So we use that material also, we haven't wasted that. This is few interior images of the space. This is the central atrium from where one enters. Okay, so this is VTC. It's a very small 1,000 square feet of salon, and it is my client wants to have his salon above his house, so we used his roof, and on that we constructed an entire new structure. To get better sunlight, we have also given few skylights and we used a lot of openings. So this is the final image, and you can see we used a filler slab to get a better, the RCC structure. It is less in cost, it is very cheaper, it is very faster, more strengthful, and it also gives a better insulation rather than a normal RCC slab. So this was one of our SketchUp image we used, and this is the final image what we came up with. You can see a skylight above, which is in square, and there is a symbol of VTC, which actually gives a nice pattern in the floor with the shadow. This is the filler slab casting details, and this is the final output of this project. This entire project is not even 2,000 rupees per square feet, which includes the RCC and the interiors altogether. The floor tile you see is only 1 feet by 1 feet, 25 rupees per square feet. All basic materials here. He's a young chap and he don't want to invest a lot of money. So for that we did this kind of thing. There's a few more other images. Few details, few techniques are there which I'm mentioning. So in that way, this is one of our residence we completed last year, and it is again a very modern house between a housing society which is very heavily populated, but this house is only G+1. We used few elements which is very natural. We haven't used anything very artificially or plasticky. So all things are made up of natural materials. On that way, we created this bungalow which is very much lit, very much into ventilation. And again, this is the thing. We use majorly for cross ventilation and lighting. We use major openings and maximum of fine flow so that we can get a better sourcing on that. We are getting very fine light from the east from this in this bungalow, and we have completely blocked the south light, but we are very much lucky to have the west light because the bungalow was having a very good setback behind. So from the west also we are getting one. The staircase tower is used as for the ventilation. We get the hot air out from that. And these are few images of that project. There is very less cladding altogether. It's a very fine bungalow in that way. And if you see this powder room, we have also given a very good, huge opening, which is giving a very fine, clear opening of a powder room, but it is also hidden by the landscape behind that. This is the skylight I was talking about. Few other images of this project. Okay, so this artwork you see, it is on by our local artist, and we created this kind of forms, and on that way we came down to this design altogether. On the back you can see there are two small paintings. They are actually MCB covers, the MCB board. We covered it with a painting, and in that way we don't have to see that ugly boards altogether in anyway. Yeah, so this is the last one. I'm having only 2 minutes left. So yes. This is under construction farmhouse we are coming up with. It is a 5 or 6 acre of plot in which my client asked me to create a farmhouse. In this project, we haven't used any of RCC structure. There is no brick, there is no reinforcement rod. It is made by local stone named as Rajim Pathar. It's a black stone. And we got the stone from the quarry which is being discarded, and we just paid for the transportation of that stone particularly. And on this, we use the local labor, local material, and the from the plinth to the building, it is entirely made up of that single load bearing structure. So we have 2 blocks. The client has a brief of that he wants to have a village-like view, that he wants that when he is here, he should feel that he is in a village. So we created that kind of passage. One side is the servant quarter block, and the main side is his own bungalow with a veranda. So this is few images of the project under construction. You can see the plinth work also done on the local pathar. For binding, first I prefer to use entirely lime, but then we incorporated few more cement on that so that it becomes more risk-free to work on for a long time. So this was the proposed images, and over here we have reached right now. We also created a kund as a water reservoir. And the main idea is to get those kind of elements which is more into a rural India and rural Chhattisgarh of the villages of Chhattisgarh, if I say. Even the doors, we use the local artisans who make their own doors in their houses. So we use the same doors so that it becomes more vernacular. So above that, of course, we use the MS pipes, and above that we are using the local Mangalore tile khapra for a breathing roof setup. That's it. Thank you.